How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to our Arsenal News show. Today we are here, of course, to give you the latest Arsenal news. We're going to do this every single day, hopefully. This is a new thing we bring to the channel. So if you guys do enjoy, make sure you hit like buttons up and get your thoughts in down below. Get your comments in down below as well. Of course, we know it's international break for Arsenal, and I think this is the best place to start. 14 Gunners selected for international break. We're going to go through all our players that are going to be playing for the respective nations. And we're going to go through, obviously, how you can watch them if you want to watch them and keep up on how they do as well. So this is the full list of the senior call-ups for Arsenal. Saliba obviously play for against Croatia. Netherlands will play against, Timber has been called up for Netherlands, as well as Marino and David Raya for Spain. Calaflori, of course, Italy and Germany. Kieran Tierney playing for Scotland. Zinchenko and obviously Trossard playing against each other. You've got Gabriel for Brazil, Partey for Ghana. Of course, big up to Lewis Skelly, making, of course, his first ever cap, getting his first ever call up at 18 years of age is incredible. Declan Rice, as we know, will be for England. For Poland, you've got Jakob Kivior. For Norway, you got Ryan Odegaard, and then it rotates again, of course, when they play. I think that's all the players there. So, yeah, you got lots of games there, guys. Obviously, it's really good to have our players, called up for their respective nations. It's great to see them be given that opportunity because we know how big it is for them. But at the same time as well, there's always that risk about the injury side of things as well. We don't want any injuries coming back. We've already been annoyed enough with injuries. We've already had players that have been injured in international break. Odegaard got the ankle injury in international break as well. So I think that's the only real thing when we look into this. But yeah, there's where you can find them. And if you want to watch any of them play, I'll be watching Ricardo Calaflori. I'll be watching Lewis Skelly as well, Declan Rice, to see how they do. But yeah, we just obviously hope fair play to them, representing their countries is always a massive thing. But we just hope, obviously, that we don't come back, injury free, man. That's what we need. We need the players injury free. So let's get into the rumors today, then, in terms of the transfer rumors. And we start with this one here, on this goal machine here, Jonathan David. A name that's going to be mentioned, I'm sure, in the summer transfer window. As we know, Jonathan David, very, very underrated striker, in my opinion. But as we know, he's going to be on a free contract. He's going to be a free agent in the summer. He's not looking to renew his contract at Lille, and he'll be available on a free in the summer. There's a report comes today that Arsenal interested in signing Jonathan David, with two sources revealing the intense competition the Gunners will face for the striker, while the Lille star preferences also came to light. And it just goes on to say that there. Let's get to the main bit. So Team Talk understands that Arsenal maintain an interest in Watkins, though Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak is the Premier League club's main target. We knew that the other day, saying that Fabrizio came out and said that is the main target Arsenal are looking at, as well as other alternatives there. A new name has come to Arsenal's radar, with two different news outlets claiming that the Gunners have taken a shine to Lille striker Jonathan David. David is out of contract at Lille at the end of the season, as I said earlier. And according to Court Offside, Arsenal were keen on snapping him up on a free transfer. Tutto Juve have also reported their Gunners' interest in the Canadian international striker, and that Juventus are keen on the summer deal for the 25-year-old as well. However, Arsenal will face stiff competition to bring David to the Emirates. Of course, as we know, he's a free agent, so many clubs are going to be interested in him. You can see all the clubs right there. I'm not going to list them out, but there we go. David has scored 23 goals and given us 10 assists in 41 matches so far this season. And he's had big praise, of course, by Jesse Mark. So given that Arsenal have become regular challengers for the Premier League title and have also reached quarterfinals of Champions League this season, they'll fancy the chances of convincing David to move to the Emirates as a free agent as well. And it goes on to say some other news there as well. But we just focus on Jonathan David for now, people, because for me, I look into the summer window, I look at strikers, and I think, as a free agent, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Jonathan David as a free agent for me is a no-brainer, people. It's as simple as that, really. It doesn't have to mainly mean that he'll be our main, striker going into the summer, but I think him as a free agent would be unbelievable. It really would, because you can buy him on a free, a well-established striker. I think he goes under the radar. And I know what people say, oh, it's only the French league, it's only Ligue 1, but he's still got to go out there and do it week in, week out, which he's proved that that he can do that. He's proved that he's capable. He always has these seasons where he goes under the radar, but always gets around 20 goals every single season, it seems like. So I honestly think he's a fantastic choice there. I think he's going to want the move as well. He's been loyal at Lille now for quite a few years. Um, and he's also proved himself in European competitions, Champions League. He stepped up this season in particular. Um, so yeah, for me, I think this is on a no-brainer. You sign Jonathan David in the window, and then you can get your other main striker there as. We're talking about free transfers here, people. We're not talking about splashing any money. And for a well-established striker like Jonathan David, for me, as I said, it's an absolute no-brainer. But we have to wait and see this one does develop. There will be competition from other clubs as well. As mentioned, of course, it's going to be. He's a free agent. Everyone's going to be trying to get this guy up because he's a very, very good striker. But I'm hoping that we can convince him with our new director, Andrea Berta. Arteta can convince this guy to come to the Emirates, because he'd be very, very good firepower to have in as that main striker, really, as well. Very underrated, and for me, no brainer in my honest opinion. So love to hear you guys' thoughts on that one, on Jonathan David there as well. But let's get into another link today, which is gonna maybe cause a different opinions, I'll say, for this type of player. I know him quite well. I've watched him quite a few times. Obviously, play for the Azzurri as well, but it's none other than Moise Kean. Now, Moise Kean was in the Premier League, playing with Everton. I mean, he's been actually quite a few other clubs this season. Sorry, not this season. He's been at actually quite a few other clubs as well across his career. I think he's at the PSGs, obviously Juventus, Everton, as I mentioned as well. He's been around, and now he finds himself at Fiorentina. So Arsenal were interested in signing Moise Kean. He scored 20 goals for Fiorentina this season. This is coming by Tutto Mercato Web, of course, a big source over there in Italy. And yeah, apparently we have a rumor that Arsenal were interested in looking at Moise Kean as a potential move in the summer from Fiorentina. Now, I've watched him quite a few times this season playing for Fiorentina, and he's looked good, man. He has looked really good. He's scoring goals for fun for them. He's really found himself this season. I think he had his struggles in the Premier League though, which is probably the big factor for this still. The guy's been in the Premier League already. He's played in the Premier League. It didn't work out at Everton. Then he went PSG, didn't really work out at PSG either. Juventus not really didn't really get that consistent amount of game time at Juventus either. Seems like a team like Fiorentina is suiting him this season. He's been one of their main guys this season, and the spotlight's on him. And I watched him a few times for when he plays for the Azzurri. He looks good in parts. He looks good in moments, but I also think he has occasions as well where he's very wasteful in front of goal. That's what I'll say about him. I know that's like that for every single striker. They're all going to miss chances, but for someone like Moise Kean, especially what I see when I watch him for the Azzurri play, is he's so wasteful in front of goal. That's the big thing for me. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. I don't really buy into these rumors in terms of we're looking at him. He may be on the list, but I feel like there's so many other strikers that are, in terms of Arteta's point of view as well, and who Arteta wants. I see many strikers above what Arteta wants personally, ahead of Moise Kean, if that makes sense. And it'll be the same for me as well. And I'm sure Arsenal fans watching this as well. We can do so much better for me than someone like Moise Kean, if I'm being honest with it. He's having a great season, but I just don't see him working out if we ever sign him at Arsenal. I think we can do so much better. I mean, there's so much more better, potential players out there as well. So let's move to the final story today, guys, and that is going to be on Bukayo Saka. Of course, lots of talk going around about his potential return. and also the new contract situation as well. So Bukayo Saka contract talks set to open. Arsenal are open to concrete talks with Bukayo Saka over an extension to his current deal at the club. This is according to BBC Sport, which is a report claiming that the clubs across Europe are keeping tabs on the situation as well, as expected is Bukayo Saka people. Saka enters the final 2 years of his deal at the Emirates Stadium this summer, putting him at the risk of running down his contract, as we know. Uh, and the winner last signed a deal in 2022, which takes him until 2027. So, yeah, some news there. I do see Saka staying with Arsenal. I do see he's gonna have that loyalty to Arsenal, in my opinion. I know there'll be clubs looking at him, and as it says there, monitoring the situation as expected. But I do see him staying with Arsenal. I do see him, you know, being that main guy for many, many years to come. I know the big factor is he's going to want to win trophies. I do understand that, and we're not done that. But I feel like he's Haylands. Yeah, he loves his clubs too much for me to just move away just contract guys. I'm confident. If it's someone like William Saliba, on the other hand, I don't. I'm too. I feel like that's the one we can talk about if he may move on if Real Madrid came in for him. But I'm confident with Saka, man. I'm just confident with Saka. I feel came from the Howland, been with us so many years. He's developed with us so many years as well into the player he is today. I'm very confident that we can keep him at Arsenal, and I do think he will stay. I do think he'll be one of our main guys for the for definitely for the future as well, and we will definitely keep hold of him. Um, I just like on the other hand, if it's someone like Saliba, then we can have a different conversation about that, I'm sure. But with Saka, I've got no problems whatsoever. I do think he will stay with Arsenal. Now a question before we do obviously end the video, guys, in terms of this whole talk about let's get Saka back for Real Madrid because there's been a few like he'd be back in training, he may be on the bench or whatever it may be. Would you guys play him for the Real Madrid game? For me, we've got to be so careful with this because he's came back from a torn hamstring injury. We've got to manage him correctly. We have to really manage this guy correctly. We cannot rush this guy back anytime soon. And this guy breaks down again because if he does break down again, we're gonna have mud on our face, people, and it will not look good, and it will not look pretty as well. And for Saka's point of view as well, it just would not look great. So we've got to manage him carefully. Hopefully we have 2 games before the Real Madrid game, Fulham and Everton. If we see this guy back on our bench, ease him back in, and then possibly have the opportunity to see how he goes and play him against Real Madrid. But at the same time, I still think it's a stretch. I still think it's a stretch because he's got to come back and he's got to get back to speed as well. I don't see coming back straight away and being straight up to speed. That wouldn't happen, especially when you had an injury like this. So a lot of talk about him coming back for the Real Madrid game. I don't see it. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong because, as we know, we'd have a much better chance with him, of course, against Real Madrid to get something. He's a big game player, but I don't see it happening, guys. So let me know your guys' thoughts on that as well. Thanks everyone who watched today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and also leave your comments down below. And I'll catch you guys in my next one. As always, come on, you Gunners, and we're out of here.